Well, good morning, traders. Welcome to the Master Trader Small Group Information Session. I'm Dean Jenkins, founder of FollowMeTrades.com. And I'm glad you could set aside some time here on a Saturday morning. I know your time is valuable, especially on the weekend. So thanks for your interest. Thanks for being here. And I have a couple special guests this morning who will be speaking in just a few minutes. Greg and Carolyn, who are a couple who trade together, and they just finished the Master Trader Group, and they'll offer you their comments and feedback on their experience and take any questions that you have. So first, I want to make sure you can locate the chat window on the Zoom webinar platform. That way you can make any comments you have, ask any questions of me or of Greg and Carolyn when they speak. So make sure you can find that, and there's an address bar where it says "to" down at the bottom of the window. You can say either to all panelists and attendees, which means everybody can see your comment or question, or just to the panelists, which would be me and Greg and Carolyn. So to make sure you can find that, and just for fun, it's always fun to see where people are calling in from, go ahead and type in where you're calling from, your city, state, country. Usually we get people from all over the place. There we go, Greg from Houston. And I see people are still logging in. So welcome. Glad you could make it here on a Saturday morning. AAZ, maybe that's Arizona. John from France. Nice. Must be afternoon in France. So you didn't have to get up too early. 1701, 501. Well, very nice. So good evening to you, John. We'll just give folks a few more minutes to log in. And again, go ahead, type in where you're at. Merseyside, UK for Tony. Okay. Excellent. A couple folks from Europe. Nice. Carrie's calling in from Calgary. Good morning, Carrie. Good to have you here. Good morning. All right, anybody else want to, again, just want to make sure you can locate the chat feature so you can ask questions as we go along here. It looks like it's slowing down, so let's go ahead and just jump into the material. So what we're here for today is to talk about the Master Trader Small Group Training Course. It's going to kick off this upcoming week on Thursday, and I know several people have expressed interest in it. And I just wanted to provide an information session where we talk about the course, what to expect, what we cover, and answer any questions that you have. And again, I've got a couple special guests who just finished the course, and they're going to offer feedback on their experience and ask any questions that you, potential customers or students of the course, might have. Maria is calling in from Elgin. Hey, Maria. Glad you're able to log in, okay? Okay. So why are you here, right? Most people responded to an invitation to get more information about the Master Trader Small Group Training course that I'm offering. And, you know, because you express that interest, I can assume you're probably interested in improving your trading skills. Is that fair to assume? Dave from Johannesburg. Outstanding, Dave. Wow. I have no idea what time it is there. But glad you're here. So you're probably interested in improving your trading skills, but the real underlying reason that you'd want to improve your trading skills, maybe look for some training, is profit, right? You want to make money in the financial markets. That's the whole goal. That's the reason for the reason, right? And nothing wrong with that. So I'm making profits in trading. Here's my track record, which year over year, if you just look from 2013 to 14 to 15 to 16, year over year, I'm making solid, consistent profits. And I'm beating the indexes by a pretty wide margin. I'm not trying to boast, and I'm also not claiming that anybody's going to take $1,000 and turn it into $1,000,000 in 6 weeks, right? That's not, that's just not realistic. But what I am doing and offering to train you to do is to make good, solid, consistent returns in the market. Okay, so you can see my yearly returns here, and this year we're on pace to beat last year. So as of middle of September, we're just at about 20%, and we've got open trades. If I were to close them now, we would match last year's, and I think we're going to beat last year's numbers. So even though the S&P is doing pretty well, it's strong, 12%, right? We're nearly double that, and we're doing that with low risk, and we're not taking outsized risk and going crazy and having the possibility of big losses. If I were to compound that growth, for the numbers on this chart, right? You can just look, if I made 57% and then started with that amount and then made 37%, and then if I were to compound that, right, $100,000 account starting and getting the returns that I'm getting, right, we'd be sitting here with $415,068 year to date, 2017. And P, this is gross. This is before commissions and fees, which everybody pays different amounts of commissions, different situations. So the way to make it just the most accurate, I think, is to show the gross numbers. Okay. Now, what I've learned as I've been in this business for a couple years is that people are reasonably skeptical about claims of gains, right? Because there's a lot of people in this industry making a lot of claims. And so what I've done is, again, first, I'm not making outsized claims. I'm not saying anybody's going to, I'm not showing Lamborghinis and yachts and saying you're going to turn $1,000 into $1 million. I'm saying I'm getting consistent gains and that I can help teach you to do the same thing. And to try and back that up, I've done a few things. And first, I've hired a CPA firm. So my results are now audited, and every quarter, a independent CPA firm is auditing my results and publishing their findings. So they look at my website, what I claim I'm doing, and I give them copies of my brokerage statements, and they provide a report and said, yep, he actually did what he said he did. So there's some independent verification. There's also some reviews done by tradingschools.org, and he is a tough reviewer, and he gave me 5-star reviews both times he's reviewed my service. So that's just trying to offer some external verification of the results that I am claiming, and they've been verified again by external sources. So again, you're here. You responded to an invitation for the Master Trader training program, and again, I assume you're looking for some information, maybe some help. P says, "What's my secret? What makes me special?" Well, I don't know if I'm special, but I am getting consistent results. And it's not because of magic. It's not because I discovered some, secret. It's from discipline. And it's boring, actually, right? The way I trade is actually boring because it's so methodical. And so step by step by step, but you can see it produces really solid, consistent results over time. But let me just ask a few questions. Maybe you've experienced some of these things. Have you ever taken a trade, placed an order, you got a position, you're in it, but you really couldn't explain why? Someone would go, why did you buy Apple? Why did you buy Tesla? Well, it was good news, and, it seemed like a good company, but you really couldn't articulate a reason why you were in a trade, right? Which, as the trade plays out, if you don't really know why you're in the trade, it's hard then to decide whether you should still be in the trade or not, right? So have you ever been in that position where you're in a trade and you really couldn't explain why? Hey, Miles, good morning to you. Have you ever thought a trade looked great, like I should go buy that or I should go sell that, but you were afraid to do it? Have you been in that situation? Have you ever been in a trade and been then paralyzed, right? I don't know what to do. Maybe it's in profit, maybe it's losing money. And I don't know, should I sell it? Should I stay for more profit? I'm just paralyzed, right? Have you ever gotten out of a trade early only to have it take off in the direction you thought it would go, and oh, I missed it. What was I doing? That was so stupid. Ever happened to you? Or have you ever stayed in a trade too long and taken a really big loss? Well, you're not alone if you can answer yes to one or more of those questions. Many, many, many traders make those mistakes. And guess what? I've made every one of those mistakes earlier on in my trading. Okay. I have made every single one of those mistakes and been in that position before. Not for several years, right? But those are mistakes that a lot of traders make. Now, how would you like to be able to look at a chart and to know in a few seconds if there's a great setup, a good setup? How would you like to have complete confidence in every single trade you take? Not, and how would you like to know exactly, step by step, black and white, how to manage a trade once you're in it? How would you like to know when to stay in a trade and when to get out, when to hold them, when to fold them? And how would you like to keep your losing trades really small and your winners big? And how would you like to not care? Absolutely, to really not care if one of your trade fails, because you know some are going to fail, and you know that it's going to be a small loss if it does fail, and you know your system produces over time. How would you like to know that you're going to generate profits over time? Again, I'm not claiming that anybody's going to get, billionaire rich. We're talking about solid, consistent, realistic gains, profits over time, right? These are the characteristics of master traders. This is what I'm teaching in this course. And at this point, I'd like to go ahead and invite Greg and Carolyn, who just finished the course, to share their experience and some of these things about, have you ever made these mistakes, and how would you like to now? Maybe comment on your experience through the course and whether the course delivered on some of these things. So Greg and Carolyn, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. There you go. Your camera's on.
There we are.
I'm going to stop sharing. So you are live and in color.
All right. Pop your head in there.
There we are.
All the way from Columbus, Ohio. And good morning, and thanks, Dean, for letting us join the group here this morning. We ran into Dean through that tradingschool.org website. We've been searching around, so let me give you a little background on our trading experience. Carolyn and I have been trading together since 2005, and we are day traders technically, and things change a lot in the marketplace, month to month, year to year. Things change. You could be trading futures one day, and you could be trading something else the next day. But what we were looking for was something. We found that in day trading, it's just tough. You got to grind it out every day, and we started looking around for something that gave us a little bit more flexibility. And I had dabbled in options years ago and thought, well, I came across Trading School, or you did, Carolyn? .org, and they wrote a great review on Dean here. I thought, well, let's check them out. This was back in May. And so we signed up, got in, and sim traded for the first 5-6 weeks. Now, I would normally say I need to sim trade for maybe 3 months, but since I had experience in options and dealing with trading options before, I thought, well, I can probably ramp up a little bit faster. So basically what we did then was, after those 6 weeks of kind of following Dean, we took the trader course. We joined in the last of June, 1st of July, and started to get the guts of all how it is put together and how it all works, and what we like and what we found. And now we're trading live with Dean. Again, the two biggest things that Dean emphasizes, and I can't emphasize enough, is money management, and trade the plan and stick to the plan. And when you're in a trading room, with Dean or anybody, it usually helps your confidence a little bit when you're in a trade. You're like, okay, they liked it, I liked it, we're in it together. Whatever happens, happens. But you got to stick to the plan, and it really helps to take the course because you really get a little bit deeper into how Dean thinks and how he sees, and it's very helpful. Because eventually he'll teach you how to scan all the stocks quickly and find the best of the best out of the scan, you know, and because any plan will have failures, especially in the stock market. We had a trade a week or two ago that came within 2-3 pennies of our stop, and then turned around and went back down. And you know, most of the time when it gets that close, it kind of usually stops out. But stop outs are part of your daily plan. It's just the way it goes. And then you just with what Dean teaches in money management is, you know, keep your losers small and your winners big, and it all comes out to those numbers that he showed you for his returns. You know, each year has been at least profitable. It's been better than the S&P. And when you think about it, if you're only going to get 1.5%, 2% from the bank, and you can pull 3 or 4% or more out of trading your own plan, and it doesn't take a lot of time, it's almost a no-brainer. But you don't want to go in there with, as Dean said, wishing, hey, I'm going to be driving around in a Ferrari and I'm going to have a big house and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that stuff might come if you're lucky, but it's going to take time, patience, and discipline. And I'm going to let Carolyn talk here in a second, because I'm going to tell you once again, stick to the stops. Dean tells you that all the time, stick to the stops. And we're in the live trading room, and someone will raise their hand and say, I'm still in that trade. I'm thinking, now you're in hope mode, because it could go further against you and dig into that account. Now you're not following that money management plan that says keep those winners big and the losers small, because that's how it works.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we appreciated is a lot of the system is based on Fibonacci. And I was not a big Fibonacci fan before we started it. I thought it was difficult, too hard to figure out, too arbitrary. And one of the ways that Dean teaches is just really looking at a bigger picture, and just really, he made it easy. And now I'm a Fib fan. And I even, one of the things that Greg and I do is he does the longer swing term trades with Dean, and I still day trade on a daily basis, but I have been able to use the fibs in day trading. So it's been really fun. But that is probably one of the biggest things, because that's something that I don't have to be in Dean's room for. We can sit here over the weekend and scan stocks and quickly tell just by looking at them, no. Oh, let's investigate that a little more. And so we then we come up with our own things. And one of the nice parts about being in the room is we can say, hey, Dean, look at this one. And he'll either say, yeah, you're on the right track, or no, look at this. And it's just extra teaching time. So it's awesome. We've enjoyed it. We learn something all the time, and even seasoned veteran traders like we are still benefited immensely from the room, just in trading plans and being able to look at trading just a little different.
Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan.
Can you tell that's not our strong suit?
And quickly, I'll tell that disaster story in a quick form. Carolyn and I have been day trading for years. Back in 2007, we had a great month. We made roughly $10,000 in 30 days, trading the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000 at the time. And it was a Friday, and we were trading, and we got caught in the trade that wasn't going our direction. And I said, I broke my rule. I didn't stick to my stop. And I said, we're going to fight it. I think we got up to about 50 to 80 contracts on that trade before it finally said, you can't buy anymore, and you're going to have to stop out with a $10,000 loss. And I think that happened in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what took us 30 days to make took 30 minutes to lose, because we didn't stick to the plan. And ever since then, I would say 95% of the time we stick to the plan. Every once in a while I blink, and that's just your emotions or just your human nature, but stick to the plan. When I'm sitting with Dean in that trading room, I have no problem when the little thing goes ding and I know I've been stopped out of something. I just quickly check and see what it is, and I move on, because we already have 6 or 7 other trades we're watching that might become profitable and be better than a 2% loss. So stick to the plan.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. And you guys have been super fun to work with, and I look forward to a longer relationship. So any questions that the attendees have? I see a couple questions coming in for me, but any questions you have for Greg and Carolyn specifically? Just give it a minute to type in here. I'll field some of the other ones. John's asking, what scanner do I use? I use a variety of scanning techniques. They work on any platform that has some kind of table. TradeStation has radar screen, which is just a table you can put symbols and indicators in. Thinkorswim has something similar. Ninja's got something similar. What we want to do is get a list of stocks into a table with some indicator values. Then we export it to Excel, and we add a little logic and some more math to that and narrow that list down to a small handful of stocks charts then do a look at. So that was John's question. PS is asking, what's the average length of my trade? For my stock and option pick service, which was the results I was showing, we're in them 4 to 6 weeks, and we take 1 to 2 new positions per week. So on average, we're doing about 60 to 70 trades per year in the stock and options picks. Now, you're not locked into that. If you go through the training, again, Carolyn's using some of what she learned in day trading. So you can trade the instruments you like, you can trade the time frame you like. But in my pick service, we're taking 1 to 2 per week, and we're in about 4 to 6 weeks. He says, market's been trending for a year. Anyone in index futures has been successful. I don't know if everybody would agree with that. I know a lot of people who have actually lost money.
I wouldn't. Am I live?
Yeah, you're still alive.
I wouldn't agree with that. I think we can use Friday as an example. The markets are so top heavy right now. It's really like no one knows which direction they want to go, and any given trade has the opportunity to lose, especially in day trading when you're in and out in 2 minutes. And literally, our day trading, which we're not really focused on here at all, it tends to be about a half hour of our day. We want to try to strike, get to our goal, and move on.
Well, and also I think Dean's program is beating the S&P. So
right.
I mean, if you're happy with that, then go buy Vanguard and take your lumps or whatever. But this way you have your futures in your own hands.
I think there's more variety in the stock market. Again, we were day traders and we were making money, and we also saw the writing on the wall. Said, it's not as easy as it used to be. We're top heavy in these markets, and they're choppier than they have ever been before. So let's look around a little bit, and this is why we stepped into the Dean's room here. yeah.
So PS is asking, is my system applicable to day trading?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I do. I'll use it I trade the NQ predominantly, the index, and I'll look on a big run. I'll put fibs on it and say, okay, I think it can come down to here, and I'll try to catch it with a smaller stop. If I think I use Dow theory, which is taught in the class, and say, okay, we're doing higher highs, higher lows. I'll put a stop in that seems good, and I'm able to use that.
Right. We have
phenomenal amount of time.
We have incorporated it into our day trading, but again, I don't want to emphasize too much about day trading, but the reality is day trading is so fast sometimes that you don't have time to say, is it a higher, low, or but you can put that fib on there and say, this is going to be a trouble spot. But as far as this course that we're talking about here, I found this to be real helpful. And I've tried trading options before, and I've always been a loser. And I've learned a lot on how to at least increase my odds of probability of being successful. So we're fresh into the class, we're fresh into the thing, and we expect at least 1 or 2% this year versus 20.
All right. Well, hey, thanks again to you guys for taking the time and for offering your perspective on the course. Sure is valuable. If you guys are welcome to hang out, if you want to leave, you can. There's going to be a button that says "End Meeting" for all. Don't press that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Don't touch that button.
Thanks, Dean.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my slides. here. And see if we share this screen now. All right. Here we go. Okay. Well, great. And John's asking, do I do pullback or breakout trades? Yeah, really the best classification is swing trading. I'm looking for big moves, either a breakout into a new trend, a correction after a big mature trend, or a continuance after a correction. Okay, so it's primarily what you would call swing trading. Okay, so again, what we're teaching here is, first how to be calm, right? How to get emotion out of our trading. We're probably going to experience some, but we can get emotion out of the trading. We spend a lot of time on trade setups and technical analysis and math and stuff like that, but probably a good third of the class is just about the mindset and a little bit of psychology about how to approach trading, right? So we want to keep calm and trade on. And trading should not be stressful. It can even be enjoyable. It's fun for a lot of people, right? So this is what I'm going to teach in the Master Trader Small Group Training, right? I'm going to teach you how to instantly look at a chart and recognize whether there's a pattern that's even worth looking at, right? And Greg and Carolyn talked about that. They're using that now in scanning. I'm going to teach you exact trade setups that I use in my trading. Now, some people end up modifying that and putting their own fingerprints on it, and that's healthy and good. I've got a longtime customer and student who he uses my technical setup, and his wife's a fundamental trader, and she does fundamental analysis, and when they work together, then they agree on a trade that's got a good technical setup, a good fundamental setup, then they agree to take the trade. But I start with my exact trade setups, and many people are just following those. I give you black and white trade management rules. So once you're in the trade, there's really no decision to make. You simply follow a plan that's well laid out and easy to understand and follow. I teach risk management. You heard Greg say that over and over and over, right? It's so important. We got to keep the losses small. We got to keep the losses to a pain-free level, right? So some trades are going to lose. And anybody who claims that they have a 100% winning system, they are just outright lying, right? Trades lose. And so what we got to do is keep those to a pain-free level, to keep them very small, right? So they're not a big setback. And we teach how to trade in a stress-free, relaxed method and trade with confidence that we know the system's going to produce results over time. We don't really care if one trade loses because we know the system produces gains. We teach you how to be profitable. Again, we're not promising riches quickly. We're teaching how to generate consistent, solid profits over time. Okay. John says, do I rather do pullback or breakout? What we call an impulsive wave or a new trend has the biggest potential. So I like those the best, but we'll trade corrections. Sometimes that's really all that's available in the market or in particular section is corrections. We'll trade those. All right. Again, here's my record over time. Each year, grinding out consistent profits, beating the indexes by a wide margin. And again, if you compound those, if you're able to leave the money in the account, if you have another source of income, some people have different objectives in their trading. Some want to just generate more money in retirement. By the way, I'm doing most of my trading in my retirement account, just letting it grow. And that's a great approach. Some people want extra money to live on. Some people want to make a living, right? You can do all those things. Those are all possible. You have to be realistic about it, right? But if you were just to leave this money in the account, start when I started with the program I'm using now with 100,000, compounded, a simple compound every year, we're looking, 400,000 by grinding out consistent, solid results. P.S. Have I been contacted by hedge funds? I got the best job in the world. I'm having so much fun doing my trading and running classes and running the trading room. I don't want to do anything else. This is what I want to be doing. And if I were approached, I would gracefully turn it down. So what's in the course? We cover Dow theory. You heard Carolyn mention that, right? Higher highs, higher lows. How do you know that a trend has been confirmed to be beginning? If you can see a price go up and you go, is that a new trend? We have exact analysis, and I teach you how to know when a trend has begun, when it's changed, and when it's ended. We cover some free indicators that you can use. You'll see indicators on my charts, right? I cover some free indicators. You don't have to buy any software or any indicators to trade the method that I'm using. Module 2, we go over very simple Elliott wave. This is where Carolyn was talking about using Fibonacci tools for retracements and extension. Some people kind of roll their eyes at Elliott wave and, oh, it's too complicated. We have a very simple, very repeatable way of approaching Elliott wave. We're only looking for 3 trade setups. A breakout into a new trend, a correction after a mature trend, and then a continuation of that original trend. We cover in-depth risk management, the math and the tools and the exact formulas to use, so you protect your account and you keep the winners big and how to keep the losers very, very small. We talk about how to size the trade, what the correct position size, and we talk about the risk of ruin and how to look at statistics and your trading results and predict whether you're going to be profitable or you're going to be shrinking your account. So that's what we cover in Module 3. Module 4, we get into the exact trading rules, setups, entry criteria, how to manage a trade once you're in it for maximum profit, and how and when to get out. Module 5, we go over a little bit about a trading business plan, about how to track your results, about some psychology, about how you approach trading in the markets, and how you deal with losers. And there are losers in trading. Module 6, we teach you how to scan for trades. I introduce some tools that you can use with pretty much any platform. And again, how to, there's thousands of stocks out there. And if you're trading futures, there's a lot of contracts. If you're trading Forex, there's a lot of pairs. How do you scan and narrow that down to a set of charts then that you would like to study? And then how do you instantly recognize whether a chart has a pattern that has some promise that you would want to go analyze? We want to be very efficient in our scanning and looking at charts. We're only looking at the very best trades. So let me catch up here. Do I use any strategies not permitted in standard 401k accounts? So what I do is absolutely permitted in IRAs and SEPs, and I know Canada's got a version of that. 401ks are much more restrictive, and each administrator has their own rules. Some only allow you to buy, from some bucket of mutual funds or something. Some allow some more freedom. So 401ks, it depends on the administrator. But with the IRA, you can do exactly what I'm doing. The only thing is, IRAs, you're not allowed to go short, but you are allowed to trade options. And with and as a part of this course, I'm going to teach you, included is my option training. So you can analyze a chart and go, hey, that's a very bearish chart. It's going down. And I teach you how to pick the absolute best option play on that, which you can absolutely trade in an IRA. All right. Let's look at a couple charts. Whenever we talk about trading, I get a little anxious if I don't actually have a chart up in front of me. So let's look at a couple trades and just what we're doing here. So I said I'd give you a couple good trades. So let me show you one that we just took in the trading room, and this one you can still take today. So this is CLR. This is Continental Resources. And my charts, I always mark them up the same way. So you can see there's a red line, red horizontal line. This is a stop, right? That's where if price goes down, we will get out of this trade. We took our entry at 36.89, and I've got this green line up here, this dash green line. This is the price target. This is where we expect this price to go, right? And there's a high probability that it will. So 56.22, so you can see this has a, if you were to look at where is it at right now, it's sitting here at 37.82. The distance from here to the stop is very small compared to the distance from here to the target. So this has a great reward to risk ratio. So you could still get into CLR Monday morning at the open, assuming it doesn't gap way down or gap way up. But if it's pretty close, that would be a very nice long trade that you could jump into. And we like this one. We think it's got a ton of potential. And people go, really, you really think it's going to make it to that target? Yeah, I really do. Nothing's guaranteed. Trade could fail. But here's Gilead we got in, right? And when we got into this, it looked very similar. And we had a target up here at 86 bucks. And you go, was Gilead really going to make it up to 86 bucks? Yeah, sure did, right? So there's, again, no guarantee. I was showing when I first pulled this up, some trades fail. So here's CHD. This was a short trade we took. We took it short here at 50.59. It popped up and stopped us out. Oh no, we took it short here at 46.89. It went up and stopped us out. On that trade, based on a $50,000 account trade size, we lost $229. That's what I'm talking about. When they fail, we want them to fail small. When we win, we want them to win really big. You know, by comparison, Gilead won $2,500, so more than 10 times more than CHD did when it lost. That's what we're talking about. Okay, that's the kind of trading we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to teach here in the Master Traders course. That's why we're getting solid, consistent returns. So that's the course outline. Here's the course schedule. Classes start on September 28th, this coming Thursday, and we're going to do it for 6 weeks. We take a break for 1 week. So we run 4 weeks, take a break, and then 2 more, and we wrap it up. The sessions are held twice per day. It's every Thursday. We hold them at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 12 Eastern, and 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 Eastern. So people in different time zones, different work schedules are able to participate. And every training session is recorded. If you can't make it, you can watch the recording. And by the way, you can go back and watch. We archive every training session each time. So you can go back and watch all the training sessions that we've ever done. We've done this about 6 times now. So you can go back and watch a lot of training, and sometimes there's different questions asked, different nuances. So there's quite an archive of training material there recorded. John, do I rise my stop to break even? I rise my stop to break even and beyond. If you'll look at a current trade that we are in, let's take a look at CLMT. So I teach you how to manage a trade, right? So here's CLMT, Calumet Specialties. We got long on this at $5. We are still in this trade, right? We've taken profit once up here at the top, and my stop is currently up at 730, well above my entry. So if we stop out, this trade's a winner, but I'm trying to stay with this trend, right? We got specific rules for where and how to move the stop and stay with it for as long as possible. But we trail the stop throughout the trade according to a set of very black and white rules. Good question, John. Thanks. Okay, the schedule, again, we're going to run 7 weeks. We take a break. It's 6 sessions, and we offer it twice, and we record every session. So there's some bonuses, right? In addition to the core Master Trader materials, and again, this is being offered to 10 people. I try to keep the course small so I give personal attention to every single person, answer questions during the sessions, and throughout the week between sessions, I'm available to answer questions via email. We can get on the phone. I am here to make you successful while you're in this course. So in addition to the core materials, you get the Ichimoku Cloud training. You can see I use Ichimoku Cloud in conjunction with Elliott Wave. You can see that's a shaded indicator here. Very powerful tool. So I teach you how to use the Ichimoku Cloud. I give you 90 days of my stock and option picks. That lists for $127 a month. So you get 90 days of that included in the course. If you're an existing subscriber, we just put your payments on hold for 90 days. And I give you my complete option training, which is a whole nother training course. 6 modules. You get access to the entire option training course, and we incorporate it and weave it into the master trading. So we talk about options and how options work, how to use options. Once we have a chart that we've analyzed that looks great for a long trade or a short trade, how to trade that with an option play. So you get that as well. So those bonuses are available, right? And so everything you get as part of the Master Trader training courses, you get the Master Trader training materials, the Ichimoku Cloud, you get 90 days of the stock and options, you get the option training, you get live training in 6 small groups. You add all that up, and it's a value of over $3,000. And the complete package is $1,197. That's a 65% discount from the list price of all the different components. There is a payment plan available. You can pay half now and half in 30 days. That's available on the order form at checkout. And there is a money-back guarantee on the course. Absolutely money-back guarantee, no questions asked, no hard feelings. The way that works is you sign up for the course, you attend to the first week, you get access to the first module. You get to check it out, come sit through the first training session, and then you can decide if you want to continue with the course. And if you do, then there's no refund available, of course. But it's a chance to sit in, get a feel for it, go through the first module, the first training session, interact with me, see what you think, and then if it's not a good fit, and you're again 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked, no hard feelings. I only want people going forward who it's a good fit for them, and they're excited about it. Okay, so that's the course, and there is for you guys attending this session today. There's another special bonus. You heard Carolyn and Greg talk about the trading room. So I do have a live trading room for an hour and a half, Monday through Thursday. And if you sign up this weekend, I just want to get this class full, right, and get going with it. If you sign up this weekend by midnight, Sunday, you'll get 90 days in the live trading room for free as an additional bonus. And so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and post a link for you to there's a landing page here where you can go find out more, and you can sign up. So I've posted that link, and I'll go ahead and bring that page up. So here is the page that talks more about it. And that link is posted in the chat area. And so there's also, you heard Greg and Carolyn this morning, I've recorded in a session like this 3 other students who just took it, and you can hear them talk about it, a couple minutes each, about 3 minutes each. Here is classes start in 4 days. There's all the class content, what you get, the bonuses, and again, if you sign up this weekend, people attending this webinar, you'll get the extra bonus of 90 days in the live trading room, and you can be in there Monday morning ready to go. Here's the course schedule, some other student testimonials, and of course there's a button here. You can go to the order form, and there is a 2-payment option if that is helpful for you. So that is really that's what you get with the course. That's what's going on. Again, I'm really getting these results. I showed earlier, if you were here, that we actually have our results audited by an external CPA firm, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're teaching you how to do. I'm teaching you instant chart pattern recognition, teaching you exact trade setups, black and white trade management rules, risk management techniques to keep losses at a pain-free level, and teaching you how to trade with confidence, how to not be stressed out, how to be relaxed, how to be profitable. But time is running out. We're going to start next week, and seats are limited. We're only going to have 10 folks in the class. So the question is, are you in? And I'm here to take any other question that you have. That's really the end of the material I've presented. So do I help you determine how to divide up capital in various active trades? I do absolutely have guidelines for how much capital to have in a given trade. And I also talk about, you could call it diversification, but in most people's minds, that would mean typical investment portfolio diversification, of total beta and all these kind of things. We talk about how to spread our trades across sectors and both sides, long and short, so that we're participating. We're not exposed to any one given market move or any one given sector. And we do talk about trade sizing and the maximum amount to put into any one given trade, so we're not overexposed. Absolutely. Someone asked about whether it's, I'm not sure if you were here, Selwyn. Carolyn talked that she is day trading primarily the NQ, and she is using the techniques here that she learned in my class to help improve her results with day trading. So you can absolutely use what I'm applying to different time frames, different instruments. I focus my trading on stocks and options, primarily on 30, 60-minute daily charts, a little bit longer time frames. I'm just comfortable there. I've been the most successful there, but the methods can work on day trading and shorter time frames. I really just don't want to sit at the computer for 6 hours a day and day trade. I did it for a couple of years, did okay, but it's just not, it doesn't suit me very well. But some people like it, and the methods absolutely work there. Miles, can I look at BDX while we're talking here? I was happy to look at a chart. You bet. Let me get my chart over here. If anybody else has some symbols they'd like me to look at, I'm happy to do that. So BDX for Miles. Well, it looks like it's starting to correct, doesn't it, Miles? We've had a long, mature trend. It's going up, and now it's showing clear signs that a correction. So I said I'm looking for 3 setups. I would have liked to trade this breakout trend. This is mature. It's over. It looks like it's correcting. And I've got several ways of confirming that I teach. But this looks like it's got a target of getting down to about 176 to 159. And you see how quickly I could, I could look at this chart and see, yeah, there's something here, and quickly come up with an analysis of it. That's what you're going to learn in this course if you would like, if you sign up. AAL, PS. And now some of the charts you're going to ask me to look at, I'm not going to like, and don't take it personal. And AAL, it actually had, you can see I've got some Fibonacci on here, some Fibonacci tools. It had an impulsive move up. It had a perfect correction, and we had projected a target earlier of it getting above 53, 56, and it absolutely did. So what it's probably going to do now is an A, B, and then C. And so I would be really careful. It's hitting some overhead resistance at the Ichimoku cloud. So the next probable move is another leg down here, probably about like A, maybe a little bit longer, like right there. That's the probable thing on AAL. Costco for Maria. So Costco did correct already. Here was the impulsive move. This is a pretty sloppy chart, pretty volatile. It did correct into the Fibonacci retracement zone, and then it's heading back up. It looks like it's going to fail and probably continue down a little deeper into that retracement zone, but there's not a lot of profit left there. So I'm not excited about a trade on Costco. SYP. Did I type that right? Yeah, I don't get any data on SYP there, PS. SPY. Okay, S&P 500. Yeah, I prefer to look at the CAT. I know SPY is the ETF, but I prefer to look and do my analysis based on the actual cash, and then we can place trades on SPY. So interestingly, here on the S&P 500, you can see I've got some time cycle markers. And so S&P has been following a very clear time cycle. Price moves in an uptrend and higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. But it's interesting that from the higher low to higher low has been following a pretty clear 6-week cycle. And it looks like, and this begins to happen about 3/4 to 2/3 of the way through. It looks like it's starting to happen again. So we may get a pullback down into this region next on the S&P 500. And you could absolutely take a trade against that on SPY. Good way to trade it. So Goldman Sachs, these banks, one of these days these things are going to correct, but they just won't do it. So big impulsive move up, and now it's gone totally sideways. The next trade on this for me would be short, and there's not a lot of room. So there's better banks out there to take a short on. GS, again, it's in this channel. Whichever way it breaks out of this channel is the way it's going. But I'm thinking down at this time. But there's not really a good trade either direction for me on Goldman Sachs. NVIDIA has been on an amazing run, hasn't it? It's still going. So beautiful trend. Would have been a great breakout to catch and to be with. Way too mature for me to try getting. We're losing some momentum on it, but it's not showing signs that it's correcting yet. So it's too late to go long, too early to go short, is my take on NVIDIA. I'll give you another trade we just took yesterday. We're shorting Apple. Apple is showing signs that the correction is beginning. So we're actually short Apple. And we got a target of 135 on Apple right now. We went short at 151.13, and this looks really good. It's going to take weeks to play out, not days. So on a daily chart, we don't get excited about every little tick or every little price bar. We're looking at the big picture. Big picture is we had a big, massive, impulsive run up, and we have clear signs of a correction beginning. And we got a nice target down here at 135. And are those targets good? Well, we just got out of Seagate. We shorted it. Actually got ridiculed in a few forums for shorting Seagate. We got short at about 41.36 and took it down to 33.98. We just closed that. We just got stopped out in profit for a really nice win, and it didn't take that long. So yeah, stuff works. Would I sell calls on Apple? Certainly, I would never sell naked calls, right? The exposure and the risk is just too big. And so for me to sell calls, I would have to own Apple, and I don't want to own Apple. So I'm buying puts. That's my approach, is I buy puts, Rick. I buy puts when I think the stock's going down. That's what we did. Okay, well, any other questions? I'll go ahead and post that link again. Again, that's the page where you can find out more about the Master Trader Small Group Training class, and you can go ahead and sign up and get your seat if you're interested. And again, this weekend only. If you sign up this weekend, we have an extra bonus that you'll get 90 days in the live trading room for free. And as you heard Greg and Carolyn and other folks talk, they found that very helpful to be in there, and we're trading according to the method that I'm teaching you. So you get some reinforcement of it, you get to ask questions, you get to look at charts like we just did here. So good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and go on mute and hang out here just in case any other questions come in. But that's really all I had to share today. Again, I'll stay online, answer any questions if you type them in. But thank you for coming here, for spending your time on a Saturday morning. I hope you found it useful and you got what you were looking for. All right, take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Hey, John, thank you. Yeah, Carrie, we run at 8-week cycles, so we're starting on the 28th, so whatever 8 weeks is from there, and as long as it's not a holiday, we'll be kicking off then. You're welcome, PS. Hey, Maria, Alan, you are very welcome. Thanks for showing up. Again, if you got any other questions, I'm here. I'll stay online and be happy to answer them. No, PS, you're absolutely welcome to join the live trading room without taking the training. Absolutely welcome. If you go to my homepage, I'll go ahead and go there. Under products, live trading room, you can sign up right here. Hey, Greg, thank you. Greg just typed a note, said that's what they did. They joined the room first, got the feel of it, and then took the course later. Nothing wrong with that. Well, that's it. Looks like the questions are slowing down. So thanks again for being here. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. This is recorded. I'll send out a link for folks who registered and weren't able to attend. And again, that offer through the end of the weekend, midnight Sunday, you can get the 90 days in the trading room included if you go ahead and sign up this weekend. And again, thanks for being here. Hey, in your trading, be safe. They are out to get you. So follow the stops, keep your winners big and your losers small. And I hope to see 10 of you in the Master Trader Small Group training. It's good fun. Look forward to it. All right, thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.